Ho ho ho! Ho ho ho! It's time for video games. Do you guys know what time it is? Do you know what time it is? It's actually time for my new, my reveal. Hello. Hello. Hi. Hi, down here. Hello. Yes, it's me. Your local gremlin. I'm gonna just... Hi. Haha. Oh. Oh, I'm right here. Hi. Hello. Oh. How's it going? Hey, I'm just gonna stream down here, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm just down here. Hi! Hello! Hee and welcome. Do you guys like my new outfit? Do you like my shiny new face? I just washed it this morning for you guys. I am here for the Otogays and the Otoheys and the Heiyo Binshis, and we're gonna smooch them. And I don't know where this is going, but here I am! Okay. I'm glad you were able to get back in, pup. I'm sorry. I started the stream and then realized I didn't connect my Ethernet, and then I plugged my Ethernet in and my internet decided to go, ha! No! Aw, thank you. Thank you, pup. You're so sweet. I'm gonna scoot my cute little butt down a little bit more so I don't block the whole chat. I'm gonna go right here. Look, and I fit so perfectly right here. Golden! Hi, Golden! Hi! Oh my gosh! I haven't seen you in so long. Welcome! Aw, man, new Abby reveal and Golden's here. What's up? Thank you, Yuzu. Tonight's an exciting night, you guys. Tonight is exciting. Lots of things happening. Potentially multiple games happening. We'll see how it go. Put down me and talk. Oh, I'm learning new things every day. Pup, you're so smart. And no worries, Golden. Moving can be super stressful, so anytime you're free to stop by, we enjoy having you, but otherwise, just make sure you're taking care of yourself. That's the important part right there. Okay. I think... Oops, I hit the wrong button. I changed up my hotkeys, and now I gotta remember what one does what. But it's time to start playing. Oh, wait, I also need the... Oh, first off, I need to mute my phone, because my phone's gonna go off a billion gajillion times if I don't. Let me hit continue. And I gotta also pull up this. I remember we were on the last two choices before the end of his story. So let me find the good ending. There we go. And the last two choices. Okay. The next choice we're going to make is a very questionable one, and you will see when we get there. I don't know the context of it, I just know the choice I'm supposed to pick. Hyper focus on mental health and art and paralyzed. I mean, listen, right? I don't think it's useless information. It's useful information. It just doesn't always come up as the priority of topic. Like, I have a lot of information in my brain, which most of the time is useless, but in certain situations is very useful. So it's just a matter of where you applicate your knowledge into situations. It's all useful. Oh. Okay. Hi, Ane, welcome. The sound, when I start the game, it does la 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 la. It's really loud in my ears. I get very distracted. Okay. Okay, let's go. We're gonna finish up Kaguya's route tonight. We're gonna send our boyfriend back to the moon, or we're gonna keep him on Earth with us. I don't know which one. Yes, mental health information is definitely useful. Oh, is this still in the past? For a while. In other words, this arrangement wasn't permanent, and eventually I would have to leave. So there I was, living in someone else's house. While they were supposedly distant relatives, to me, they were no different from strangers, and it was hard to believe we had any sort of connection. This feeling was apparently mutual, because they all walked on eggshells around me.
まったく面倒なことになったな。
Sorry, I'm giggling at the emotes, not the tragic story. Everyone around me saw me as a little more than a strange and inconvenient burden. And eventually, that was how I started to see myself, too. At the first house, I was practically invisible. They gave me food and a place to sleep, but they didn't care about my presence or one way. We never spoke. I didn't fit in. Even at mealtimes, I ate my cold food alone long after the rest of the family had finished theirs. I was excluded from their casual conversations, almost like I was isolated to a separate dimension. Not that it didn't make sense. Why would anyone smile at a stranger? Maybe if I made them laugh, I guess. It was the only thing I could think of. Following this realization, I learned to adapt my personality to suit the whims of those around me, like an actor or a clown.
何その喋り方
I didn't care if they jeered at me. I just wanted some kind of reaction. Oh, you mean the cute-ass way he talks has been fake the whole time? I thought it was adorable. I mean, it's fine if he doesn't talk like that, but I thought it was adorable. I didn't think it was silly. I thought it was cute. I'm not mute. Eventually, I was forced out of the first house and sent to the second. At the second house, they made me work to earn my keep. I said yes to whatever they asked, be it cooking, cleaning, laundry, or helping run the shop. According to them, since there was no proof that I was actually related to them, I needed to pay them back for the privilege of living with them. If I didn't work, I didn't deserve to eat or sleep, and if I talked back, they hit me. Not that it didn't make sense. In this world, it costs money simply to exist. But I didn't have any money, so my only option was to offer up my labor instead. Hence, I decided to work harder than anyone else. Honestly, big ol' trauma bomb. Even if I didn't stand to profit from it, anything was preferable to getting my ass beat. I'm not worthless. Then I was forced out of the second house and sent to the third. At the third house, I used what I learned from the first two houses and made sure to always be friendly and considerate. This seemed to pay off because the adults took a liking to me. They dressed me in nice clothes, fed me well, and let me live comfortably. I put in the effort in order to earn their love and affection. To me, this was simply how the world worked. But it didn't last forever. One day, a scandal broke out. Fortunately, the fire was contained before it could spread. Oh, that was one of the girlfriends. There was a fire, wasn't it? It was the cutesy woo one who was like, "Yeah, I own him." It was her. There was a fire at her house. I mean, that's fair, yeah. He had to learn how to mask very, very heavily in order to survive. Fortunately, the fire was contained before it could spread, but when its source was traced back to the kids' room, an interrogation began. The child of the family pointed at me. There, yep, that's her. That's her voice. It's her. She did it! It was a bald-faced lie, of course. But it was my word versus hers, and she was a better actress than me. Yeah, these ones get a little heavy. Unfortunately, the other Otome game we're gonna play next is also a very tragic one. I don't know if it hits this dark, but it is sad in its own right. Prepare yourself for tears. I mean, it might be way further down the line, but we'll see. The adults never questioned their own child. Instead, they turned on me without hesitation.
せっかく く可愛がってやったのに。
Not that it didn't make sense. Who would believe me over their own biological child? An unloved child would never win out over an adored one. Following this realization, I started making more and more of an effort to read people, to toe the line at all times. I couldn't let myself have needs. Anytime I needed something, it would only inconvenience someone else. So I decided to wear my smile like a mask. I'm not a robot. And so I was kicked out of the third house and sent to the fourth. The people in the fourth house were barely related to me at all. There, I was the butt of every joke. But I always smiled at them. No matter what they said or did, I kept on smiling like an idiot. They'd get annoyed or creeped out, sure, but that was the worst of it. One day, they decided to play a prank on me.
大切なものを湖に落としたから
God.
探してほしい。
So all these girls who came like, I'm his girlfriend. It was all the previous houses that he lived in. Is it fucking that it? Are you shitting me? You guys didn't care about him at all. You just wanted him for your own amusement. I'm gonna throw hands. I'm gonna throw hands with... I mean, I was already gonna throw hands with all these girls, but listen, I'm gonna throw hands. I am gonna throw, and people are gonna bleed. Anyways, calming thoughts. We're just gonna read. We're gonna slightly disassociate, but we're gonna read. One look at the smirk on her face and I knew she was lying, but even if I'd called her out on it, it wouldn't have changed anything. So I pretended to go along with it. As I searched desperately for a treasure I'd never find, they watched from a distance and laughed. Then, it started to rain and they all went home without me. At that point, I could have safely given up, but nevertheless, I kept searching in the pouring rain.
ない。ない。
As the rain beat down on me for hours, my mind started to go fuzzy, and eventually, I forgot exactly what I was supposed to be looking for. When I finally looked up at the sky, I found that the clouds had cleared, and I could see the full moon. How lovely, I thought to myself. What could such a pretty moon be hiding up there? I thought about the moon for a while, and when I looked back at the ground, I noticed a shard of broken glass on the lakeshore. Oh no. Trigger warning! Guided by the moonlight, I picked it up and pressed it to my wrist. Uncomfy. Uncomfy. Pain shot through me and my fuzzy mind sharpened. Only then did I truly feel alive. I feel pain like anyone else. After I was rejected by 4 different families, I ended up at an orphanage called the Bamboo House.
この子のことですが、栄養失調と風邪などで弱りきっていて、虐待の痕跡も見られます。
そうですか。ここに来たからにはもう安心していいんだよ。みんな君と同じ仲間だから。
はい。
The orphanage was nothing like the houses I'd lived in thus far. The people I lived with were total strangers with no blood relation to me, and like me, they were all children with no family. The adults set the rules, and we obeyed them. There were a lot of restrictions, but adhering to them was easy, so I didn't mind. But no matter how much time passed, I never fit in with the rest of them. I wasn't one of them.
ほら、食べや。
Everyone at the orphanage had chores to do. My job was to look after the pet rabbit. It was work I enjoyed. The rabbit couldn't talk, and it couldn't make demands. didn't need to worry about what it was thinking. It was the only time I felt truly at peace. Then, one day, one of the girls spoke to me.
うさぎさん好き？
I could hardly believe it. It was the most popular girl at the orphanage. Her most striking feature was her smile, soft like moonlight. As the oldest ward, she helped look after the rest of us. She was kind and beautiful. I always watched her from afar as she soothed the crying children. And I was so starved for affection, I got attached to her right away. She talked to me about all sorts of things. She told me about her past and how she ended up there. Apparently, she lost her parents at a very early age and had been there ever since. But she didn't lament her circumstance, nor did she look for someone to blame. I admired her more than I'd ever admired anyone. She would always look up at the moon and say to me,
あの月にはね、華やかで美しくて決して老いることも思い悩むこともない天井人が住んでいるんだよ。
まるで姉ちゃんみたいやな。
そうなら私はいつか鳥になって月に帰ろうかな。
Oh,
その時は君もついてってくれるよね。
that's a red flag. I wanted her to like me. I wanted to see her smile, so I did everything in my power to make her happy. When I was with her, I had so much fun. For once, I felt happy. Sometime later, I overheard the staff gossiping about her.
まさか彼女に子供ができるなんて。
Oh, what? According to them, she was pregnant. Oh, hi, Astro. Hi, Luna. Hi, guys. Welcome to the tea party. Pull up a seat, grab a cup, take a deep sippy sip. Granted, she had seemed a bit quiet and green around the gills. But given how good she was at taking care of us, I was confident she would make a great mom. I'm sorry, you did come at a very gloomy point in the story. There are some trigger warnings such as self-harm and unaliving. The unaliving part is probably going to come up soon. Yeah, I'm sorry. This one gets really dark. Okay. So in order to make her smile again, I snuck out of the orphanage to buy a present, knowing full well I would get in trouble for it.
これあげるわ。丈夫な赤ちゃん。生まれるとええな。
Uh-oh. Should he have not mentioned it?
ありがとう。
It was a good luck charm for expecting mothers, shaped like a seashell. I couldn't do much to help her with the pregnancy, but I figured I could at least pray on her behalf. When I gave her the gift, she smiled. But at the time, I didn't realize that the brightest beacons only deepen the shadows. The following night, she said to me,
ねえ、今から一緒に付き合ってくれない？
Oh no, I think it's gonna happen.
ええよ。
I wasn't sure where she was planning to go so late at night, but I did as she asked. She led me by the hand, and together we snuck out of the orphanage.
どこ行くん？
She didn't say a word. She was walking ahead of me, too, so I couldn't read her expression. There's a hair on the back of my arm. Oh. Eventually, we arrived at the very top of a nearby office building. She let go of my hand and reached up to the moon.
ねえ、知ってる？月の世界と違って地上は汚れているの。そんな汚れた地上にいるから私の体はもうずいぶん前に汚れてしまったんだ。
汚れてる？
My heart raced at this sudden confession. Not in the romantic sense, but because I had an inkling of the tragedy that was fast approaching.
そう前に言ったでしょ。私はいつか鳥になって月に帰ろうかな。その時は君もついてってくれるよねって。
言ったけど。
ついにその時が来たんだよ。今日はいい月の日の夜。今から月の使者がやってきて、私たちをあの月に導いてくれるの。だからツバメみたいに海を渡り、遠いところに飛んでいきましょう。
子供はどうするん？
A dark shadow fell over her expression.
もちろん一緒だよ。この汚れた地上で育ったら私みたいに汚れてかわいそうでしょ。だからそうなる前にここを離れるの。
Some part of what she said felt wrong to me and filled me with fear.
僕は行かれへん。
なぜ？あなたも私と同じじゃない。
As she spoke, she rolled up her sleeve. Her wrist was lined with dozens of scars, just like mine. Oh, the music's gone. Instantly, my fear was confirmed. She was asking me to die.
君も月に憧れてるんでしょ。こんな地上なんか捨てて一緒に月に帰ろう。
いやいや、僕は汚れていても地上がいい。月になんて入りたくない。
As she closed in on me, I stumbled backwards. Her soft, sweet facade had all but vanished.
なんでよ、一緒についてきてくれるって言ったじゃない。こんなものなんていらないの。私は君が欲しい。
She screamed and lunged at me. It was an impossible request, just like all the others. And if I didn't accomplish it, I would be thrown away. But I couldn't sacrifice myself to her. I just couldn't. So I ran from her. For once, I actually did it. Yeah, that's right. All this time, I wanted nothing more than to run away. Away from my suffering, away from this tainted earth. The next day, I learned that she was dead. She had gone back to the moon, just like she wanted. To the utopia full of beautiful, opulent people. To the place where people never grow old and never had any problems. The place I would one day have to return home to. Would my real parents be there, waiting to welcome me with open arms? In which case, what was I still doing here? If this place actually needed me, then why did everyone abandon me? If this world was tainted, then why did I choose to be here? Was it to atone for my sins?
僕は誰なんやろ。
So I locked my memories away and turned myself into a blank slate. Kaguya didn't deserve anything he went through. Kaguya. I murmured his name. Tears poured down my cheeks and trickled into my mouth. My sight was now so blurry I couldn't read the words in front of me. Anger and sadness descended upon me, tearing my heart in two. Sniffling and wiping my tears, I kept reading.
ひいさん、これを読んでいる君は今何を思っているのでしょうか。僕は自分で自分の記憶を閉じ込めていました。自分を傷つけ 忘れることで自分を守ろうとしたのです。でもそれは臭いものに蓋をしただけのただの現実逃避に過ぎなかったんです。忘れるということは遠いどこかへ記憶を置いていくこと。たとえ記憶を思い出そうと思い出さなくとも、その記憶を作った事実は消えないのです。たとえ君のことですから。何もかも思い出した僕が君の前からいなくなることもずっと前から気づいていたのでしょう。僕は弱い男です。記憶を取り戻した今、僕は地上にいるわけにはいかないんです。
No. Kaguya? Excuse me, sir? You're not. No? Bad vibes.
とはいえ
That's not good.
お世話になっていたにもかかわらず、こんな風に日記だけを書いて残す僕のことをさぞかしひどい男だと思われていたらと思うと、自業自得とはいえ心残りになっています。
We gotta save him and teach him the power of self-love.
またひいさんだけでなくシンデレラさんや白雪さんにも散々お世話になりました。
Kaguya, you're allowed to be happy.
ここに来て一月、記憶のない僕に優しくしていただき本当にありがとうございました。皆さんで過ごした日々は僕にとって何よりも代え難い素晴らしいものでした。さようなら。
Yeah, totally great chili. Not an ounce of sadness in that great pot of chili, dude. You're doing a phantasmical job with the great pot of chili that's not full of sad tears. Can I get some of that great chili? And that was the last thing he wrote. Ultimately, I would never discover his answer to my question. Or maybe he just didn't have one. No, that can't be right. There has to be an answer. I read back through the diary again and again. This was not a farewell letter. It was a challenge. And I was going to prove once and for all that he didn't truly want to say goodbye. Yeah, that's right. We gotta save him! We have to heal him. Moon Husband has gone missing. We have to find him. If I was going to heal him, then I need to solve the problem he had laid out before me. Just then, the window flew open and a strong gust of wind blew in. Thank you, Yar. I just finished it and got it all set up this morning. The gust ruffled my hair and made the diary pages flutter. What was that? It's the moon! I looked out the window to find a beautiful moon peeking out through a gap in the dark clouds above. Evidently, that sudden gust had carved a hole in them. Moonlight streamed into the room, gently illuminating me. Excuse me. I had to burp and then I didn't, and then I did. Ahem. Illuminating me as I stood before the glass. Then my gaze lowered to the diary, and I realized there were imprints on the last page where something had been erased. The letter stood out faintly beneath the beams of silvery light. The moon is helping us save Moon Boyfriend! Aw, I'm sorry, Pop, but don't worry, we're gonna help Moon Boyfriend get a happy ending. There's a happy ending at the end of all of this. There's always a happy ending. We're all here for you. And the instant I read those words, I dashed outside as fast as my legs could carry me. We're gonna go get Moon Boyfriend! Kago, you're so fucking cute. Yeah, don't worry. We're gonna teach him that he deserves to be loved, and then we're gonna help him heal and help him learn how to love himself and accept affection from the people around him who truly do care. Whether platonically or romantically, it doesn't matter. We're gonna support Moon Boyfriend. That night, I was at the lake. No one ever came here at night, and as such, it was the perfect place to say my goodbyes.
こないなところでお別れするやなんて。僕はなんてひどい男なんやろな。
It was the same lake where we had our first date. Ooh, yikes. Okay. That parallel's kind of dark. And we'd come here a few times since then as well. It was a dick move, but this was ultimately the deciding factor when it came to choosing a setting for my final farewell.
ひいさん。
The clouds drifted across the sky, the moon peeking out from behind them. At last, the moon was full. As I waited to see the moon, the night deepened, and before I knew it, it was midnight.
結局記憶を取り戻しても僕は僕のまんまやったな。
Cowardly, mistrustful, spineless, and arrogant. This was me in a nutshell. Without my memories, I wandered around aimlessly, entrusting myself to the various women who came into my life. Why women in particular? Admittedly, something about them made them easier to be around, but more than that, I think I just wanted to be loved. Loved and needed. It was something I had never gotten to experience. Right? He has no idea just how much he's loved by the people that he's found in the cafe with Yurika and Cinderella and Snow. They all care so much about him. And somewhere deep down, I yearned to find someone who would sincerely love and need me. Listen, that's Yurika. It's Yurika. It's Yurika. Listen. There's no one who would love him more and support him more and need him more than Yurika. But also importantly, he needs her. Because let's face it, all of the love interests in this game need Yurika or they will perish, quite literally. But in the end, it never lasted long. I quickly discovered some annoying trait that they had. Then I'd find a sharp object, erase the memories, and find a different girlfriend. Yikes. So his secret talent is just amnesia. He can turn it off and on like a light switch, apparently. Not so much off and on, but he can, like, purge the memories. He's like, I don't want this one anymore. Bye. Is apparently what he's implying. Ironic, isn't it? Every time I erased something, I left a new permanent mark. I knew cutting myself wasn't going to end my life. But once I forgot my time with them, I wouldn't feel the need to. You used this impossible demand as an excuse to reject all forms of love. Welcome back! Yeah, that's right. I tested them. All to make them prove that they would go out of their way for me. I mean, yeah, low-key secret. There are many years of my youth that I do not recall. So I do understand. And whenever they failed, I would erase my memories and disappear. How unbelievably arrogant of me. I claimed to want love, and yet I rejected it in all its forms. You're welcome! Ultimately, no one ever fulfilled my impossible request. But even then, I still felt I was happier without my memories. No painful emotions, no problems or worries. Without my memories, my smile was genuine. Or so I thought, until I met her. Do you have a nervous, isolating attachment style moon boyfriend? Yeah, I think he might. A little bit. T Arisu is... Yes, I name all of my Otome characters T. T Arisu is the first girl I ever approached of my own volition. I was visiting at that cafe with my girlfriend at the time, but even then, T's radiant smile stole my heart. Straight away, I was captivated by her beauty. None of the girls from my past could hold a candle to her sparkle. Blimey, you're one fit bird. Will you go out with me? I remember when he called me a fit bird. Looking back, I probably wouldn't have had the courage to ask her out on the spot if I'd still had my memories. But even after we got together, I kept my amnesia a secret. After all, what did I stand to gain by coming clean? Again and again, I quickly found that my lack of memories was an asset to me. The myriad of scars on my wrist were proof of that. And if I was better off with amnesia, then there was no reason to cure it. I chose to respect the choice that the old me had made. You lost your memories on purpose, didn't you? Yeah, this episode is the climax and the tragedy, so there are some themes. We're gonna save him though, because I have a walkthrough that tells me how to not mess it up. Well, honestly, the walkthrough only has 2 choices left, but they're the 2 choices that lead to the happy ending. Anytime a problem occurred, I would just wear my smile like a mask and coast through it. No one ever figured me out. Except for T. Arisu, that is. She saw through me like I was made of glass. They say never underestimate a woman's intuition, but hers was something else. When she said she wanted to get me my memories back, I was terrified. I wanted to stop her, but I couldn't. That was one thing that remained constant about me, whether I had my memories or not. No matter how much I hurt myself, I could never find the courage to die. I kept telling myself I would be better off dead, yet I couldn't pull the trigger. It's because you don't actually want to. You want to live. You just need help. You need someone to help you with finding the reasons and finding stability. And it's okay. It's okay to need help, Kaguya. What a weak little worm. No. What a human young man. After I got my memories back, I took off my new clothes and changed back into my usual heavenly robes. As I was folding them up, I thought about the conversation I'd had with Cinderella and Snow White. Apparently, they'd caught on to my not-so-secret feelings. As with her, I owed them a lot. But once I changed back, those feelings vanished.
このまま月へ帰るつもりか?
And here's Alice, the other Alice, the one who always kind of shows up right at the tail end before everything hits the fan and the ending comes crashing in.
はい。ほんの少しの間ということでここにやってきたけど。
彼女はあらゆる手を使ってでも君を返さないつもりだろう。
それは無理な話です。たとえ僕を閉じ込めて守り戦う準備をしたところであの月の都の人に対して抗うことはできないんです。
だろうな。地上の人間と月の人間では次元が違う。
せめてもう少し一緒にいられればと願ったけれど自分の心のままにならずそれも許されませんでした。
自分の心のままにならずか。君は誰かに従うのが嫌なのだと思っていたのだがな。それでも月に帰るのか？
はい。どうしても月に帰らなければなりません。
そっか。なら仕方がない。なあ、かぐや。君はなぜ自分がこの汚れた地上に生まれたのか考えたことはあるか？もしもこの汚れた地上に生まれたことが罪を償うためだとしたら、犯した罪とは一体何なのだろうな。
それは
contemplated how to get to the moon. I don't want to go over the list of ending yourself. Thanks, Kaguya. We're just going to skip that. The options were limitless. Though, really, you shouldn't consider any of them, because that's... Just please don't. However, I wanted a quiet death that wouldn't inconvenience anyone. Ultimately, I decided to take advantage of the lake's surface. You see, the reflection of the moon on the water looked almost like a staircase made of light. If I swam out that far, surely I could make it to the moon. I swallowed a few of the anti-anxiety pills I kept hidden on me. That way, I'd be too doped up to change my mind partway through. Oh, I'm uncomfortable. I closed my eyes and imagined a world full of light. The moon was home to beautiful, opulent people who never grew old and never had any problems. It was truly the perfect utopia. I felt the light against my eyelids and opened them a tiny fraction. There, I saw someone writing down to me on a cloud.
月の国の王子様、あなたをお迎えに上がりました。
Was this voice merely a hallucination, or... I didn't have a choice. My only option was to obey. And then T. Arisu comes crashing in and stabs the guard. You're not taking my boyfriend! And then we pull him out of the water, and we get him to throw up the pills, and we get him to a hospital so he can get taken care of. Not much is different from Earth then, is it? As I stared blankly up at the night sky, I thought of her.
さようなら。
This is the part where we show up, right? We show up now. We show up now! We show up now, please! I nearly overlooked it. The secret message at the end of his letter. Oh, that's a lot of writing.
ひいさんへ。
I do love that the moon showed us this message, because it's like, he's like, I have to go back to the moon, and the moon's like, bitch, no you don't!
思い出を積み重ねて、今何を思うのかという問いについてですが、そんなの決まっています。僕はひいさん、いえ、君のことが好きです。君を好きになればなるほど、君が欲しくなる。
The moon is grounding him. Time out therapy corner. Yes.
僕だけを見て笑ってほしい。僕以外に優しくなんてしなくていい。
You can have it. I'll give it to you.
他の人なんかのものにならないでほしい。君といると、僕はどんどんわがままになっていきます。君を物扱いなんてしたくないのに、君は僕のものだと叫びたくなるのです。
Ooh, he like her. I mean, me. He like me.
君に告白したのも、君と付き合ったのも、
He get the bonk for making us worry, moon boyfriend. Indeed, he do. He get the bonk.
一緒にいたいと思ったからに決まっています。僕は君が好きで、僕は君を求め、君、
Oops, sorry.
今、お別れと天の羽衣を着る時になって初めて、君をしみじみ思い出します。
When I arrived at the lake, I saw Kaguya wading out into it. Kaguya! Sorry, I didn't actually mean to be that loud. The moon's reflection rippled as I ran out into the dark water.
ひいさん、なんでここに。
Kaguya froze, like he was too startled to process what he was seeing. You never do take me into consideration, do you? For him, the water only came up to his knees, but for me, it came right up to my thighs. If he waded out any further, things were bound to get complicated.
Ii-san.
Hi. Oh. Oh! Okay, cool. He's like, you're here. Oh my god. And I'm like, wake up! Just slap him as hard as I can. My palm stung. Worth it. And for the first time, Pup called it. He really do get the bonk. Except it was also a slap, but he got the bonk. And for the first time I realized that hitting someone meant both people would get hurt. Glaring sharply, I shoved myself away from him. Don't underestimate Detective T. I see right through you, and I know exactly what you're thinking. I knew you would choose to drown yourself here. You love the moon, and this place has a great view of it. Plus, you were probably navel-gazing about the moonlight or whatever, right? I spoke quietly. At any other time of day, I could see his face, but unfortunately, the moonlight wasn't enough. You want to go to the moon. Why dress it up in poetry when you can just say you want to die? I wanted to provoke him. I wanted him to fight back. Why? Because it was 1,000 times better than letting him bottle himself up behind his smile.
それだけ言いに来た。
Just grab him by the ear and pull him to shallower water first. Nope. Tell me, Kaguya, do you know what this is? I held up the item in my hand, wrapped carefully in cloth. As soon as he caught sight of it, his eyes widened.
何って。それは。
Oh. Can you guys guess what we're supposed to be holding? Because I know the answer, and I was wondering how this was going to come into play. And that kind of gave away what the answer is. But you know what the answer is? Do you know what we're holding? What are we holding, guys? What do you think we're holding? I can tell you one thing. I was not expecting to be holding this. It's a knife. We are holding a kitchen knife. That is what we are holding. That is what the game says that we are holding in order to achieve the good ending. I don't know how this leads to the good ending, but we're holding a kitchen knife. It's a kitchen knife. I brought it with me from the cafe. Cuts really well, you know. We sharpen it every day. I don't know why I'm offering it to you in this very bad moment, but you know, this is where we are right now. I can prove it's real too, okay? We're gonna prove it's real. I pressed the blade to my wrist and slid it from thumb to pinky without a moment of hesitation. Cool. Ow. I hadn't been pushing down very hard, but nevertheless, the piercing pain had made me grit my teeth. A thin line of blood gleamed beneath the moonlight. See? It's real. I have a really real knife. Don't... Why am I flaunting this at you? Yeah. Love the idea of him just being like, "What? Why do you have a knife?" And you're frantically with your phone in hand, like, "I don't know, man. They told me to." Listen, the phone said I had to bring a knife, and so I brought it. Don't ask me why. The gods have spoken. Or he's like, "Why do you have a knife?" And I like throw it behind me, and it plops into the water. I'm like, "What knife? There's no knife here. I meant this. I have the exchange diary. This is what I meant to have. See? This is what it really is." They're going to show him the extreme. He's going to convince him that this is not what he wants. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Like, I get it, but I'm not a fan of it because it's such a big risk, but also it's just It just leaves a bad feeling in me. I don't like it. I smiled at him to hide my pain, a challenging smile.
そんなもので
Listen, when I first
何を
when I first read kitchen knife as the next option I had to pick, all I could think of was, is he going to go to the moon and we're going to murder him to stop him from going to the moon? Is this the route that ends with me as a yandere? Is that where this goes? I'm kind of glad that it didn't, but also at the same time, at the same time, where is my button? Oh no, where is it? Okay, at the same time, I'm a little... I forgot what button I put it on! At the same time, I'm disappointed I don't get to use this space. I forgot what button I put it on, I'm sorry. Anyways. His voice wavered as his expression stiffened.
僕を殺すんか
And then myself, apparently? I don't know. I don't want to do that to you. No, Kaguya, actually. Yeah, see? No, of course not. I looked directly into his eyes and continued. I read your letter, and now that I understand your past, now that I understand your feelings, I want to say this again. I want to heal you, Kaguya. But it will take more than a roof over your head to clear away the darkness in your heart. No surprise there, of course. After all, I wasn't there for you during the hardest parts of your life. Talk is cheap, am I right? It would be all too easy to lie to you. From your perspective, everything I say probably sounds like total BS. So I get it. I won't earn your trust with words. Instead, I'll prove to you that I love you with my actions. Are we going to Yandere Town? Like, am I going to prove my devotion? Oh, holding the knife in both hands, I raised it high into the air. Yep, that took the turn that I was expecting. Oh, hold on, I have to double check. I have to double check what the gods deem. Okay. Well, yeah, it... Hold on, I have to make a save file, it says. Hold on. I gotta... Give me a second. It says I have to make a save file first. But anyways, yes, we're gonna... Whoops! Hand slipped. Oh, Jesus. And I plunged it into my belly. Okay. Yeah, just accidentally... Yeah, oops, my hand slipped. Oh, gosh. Oh, is that sticking out of me? I don't mean to make light of it, but also I'm very uncomfortable, and this is how I make myself feel better. Ugh. I felt flecks of something warm splatter across my face. Oh, God. I'm gonna have to really put up trigger warning notices when I edit this video. It was my own blood. The impact to my stomach sent me stumbling backward a few steps. The stab wound burned like it was on fire. I could feel sweat beading onto my forehead. Not bleeding. I mean, I am bleeding, but not there. Jesus. The intense pain was like nothing I'd ever felt before. Desperately, I struggled to stay on my feet. I didn't think it was gonna go this intense, and I do apologize. And, yeah. You're welcome. I love you. I could hear Kaguya screaming. I made this choice for myself, and yet tears welled in my eyes and my heart pounded uncontrollably.
Isa!
Yeah, what a fun little dating sim, guys. Isn't it great? I play all the cute fun ones. Oh, stay away! I caught sight of him approaching and shouted at the top of my lungs. Enduring the mind-numbing pain, I looked up and glared at him as he stood there in shock. Why do you think? I'm taking you up on your challenge, obviously. I wheezed out an answer. The pain was unbearable. But even then, it was still preferable to the pain of rejection. as someone with rejection sensitive dysphoria, I'm a little torn on that. Okay, fitting moment to cough. I pulled my shaking hands away from the knife handle, leaving it suspended in my belly. Oh, God. Out of nowhere, I started laughing. The sight of a knife in my stomach was just so natural. I couldn't help but wonder if maybe I was dreaming. Or had I simply lost my mind? No, I hadn't. I was completely sane. Which was precisely why I had made this choice. Yeah, right? Just go to the hospital! I fell silent, then turned to the man illuminated by moonlight. To be clear, this isn't a suicide attempt. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. Yes, this is the biggest sacrifice I can make for you. I would die for you, Kaguya, and I'm going to. Despite the depth of my wound, it didn't seem to be fatal, because I still had physical and mental stamina in spades. All this pain, and it still isn't enough? I don't know what's happening, but I'm just gonna roll with it and put on my Yandere voice. The human body is such an enigma. I yanked the knife out to get ready for round 2, and a fountain of blood came gushing out like so many tears.
Isa!
As I removed the foreign object from my body, I expected it to be painful, but instead it just felt sickening. Calmly, I imagined what the stain must look like on my white dress. Then I raised the knife again.
Yamero! Mou ii! Yamete kure!
Oh, okay. Screaming, Kaguya grabbed me by the arm. Is it his turn to slap me? Do I get the bong?
バカなことやってんだよ。君が傷ついたら僕がどれだけ傷つくか分かってんのかよ。
Pot meat kettle, bitch!
僕がどれだけ君のことを好きで、どれだけ大切に思ってるのか知ってんのかよ。
Okay, okay. Now, think about what you just said. Think about what you just said!
君が傷ついたら、自分で傷つけた痛みよりも、
Think
何千
about
倍
the
も
words
激
you're
しい痛みが
speaking
僕
to
を
me.
襲うんだ。体を切り裂かれるよりも、体が焼けるよりも、息ができなくなるよりも、僕のことを好きだって言うなら、そんな思いをさせるな。僕は君がいなくなったら悲しい。
Okay, apparently the shock therapy is working. And by shock therapy, I mean trauma therapy. Yeah, get me to a hospital. Uh-oh.
だからお願いだ。もうやめてくれ。頼むから。
Sobbing, he pulled me into his arms.
信じる。僕は君のことを。
Oh yeah, Yurika's fucking wild and
You
absolutely
Ohio Shinji.
psychotic. She's like, you want me to kill for you? Sure. You want me to murder for you? Sure. You just gotta be my love interest. Haha. Bleedy Chan.
だから自分を傷つけることはやめてくれ。
I heard a soft splash as something fell into the water near me. Apparently, I had lost my grip on the knife. I hope someone retrieves that knife before someone goes to play in the lake and finds it with their foot. New harem anime protagonist just dropped. Bleedy Chan, ski this. Oh yeah, Knife Chan. Ooh. Anyways, guess I'm not gonna die after all. How about you take your own advice then? Pot meat kettle. Fucking, I said what I said, bitch. Tell me, Kaguya, can you feel my pain? You can?
わかるよ。痛いくらいに。
A smile crept up on my lips. I closed my eyes and a tear rolled down my cheek. By all accounts, I was in agonizing pain, but strangely enough, my heart was at peace. Then, Kaguya stepped away from me, and for once, he wasn't smiling.
そうだ良い
There we go! There we go! He figured it
連れ
out!
てくからそれまでの辛抱だからな待ってろ
He scooped me into his arms and headed for the lake shore.
早く早く早く
Oh, but he took meds, didn't he? Are we? We're both just struggling right now. When we made it back to the shore, he lowered me to the ground. Then he pulled off part of his kimono and wrapped the cloth around my wound.
ごめんこんなものしかないけどこれでしばらく
Ding ding ding! We have a winner to the hospital. Winner, winner, hospital dinner. We joke about uncomfortable subjects because we are uncomfortable. And by joke, I mean what we're doing exactly right now. Yeah. I grunted in pain, and the next thing I knew, Kaguya's face filled my vision. Are you kissing me instead of taking me to the hospital? Winner, winner, absolutely no dinner because you have treatments you have to go through and you can't have food in your stomach for that. That's very true. You get an IV once they're done.
ごめん安定剤に鎮痛効果はないし舌に薬が残ってるかどうかもわからないけど
Oh, he was mouth feeding me some of his medication in case it was still there. When are dinner surgery? All it did was make me feel more flustered.
不死の薬があったなら迷わず使ってたのになでも所詮そんなもんは幻想や
Your kimono will get stained.
着物は汚れるためにあるもんやほらこれ持っとき
Hey, I recognize this.
君が初めてくれたハンカチや
You held on to it all this time?
ああこれだけは返せなかった
He scooped me back into his arms and started running. Okay, now we're... yeah, how about an ambulance instead of mouth to mouth? I was just gonna comment, how long are we gonna sit here on the lakeshore and talk? Because, medical attention is needed. And have a popsicle as a treat eventually. I mean, fair. Oh, wow, we get a CG of him carrying my bleeding ass to the hospital. Yeah, I'm kind of bleeding to death, but the conversation is nice. We can just stay here. It's fine. I'll bleed for you. If anyone had seen us soaking wet and covered in blood, they might have had a heart attack. But there are no residential districts in this area, just summer homes. Plus, it was the middle of the night. Unfortunately, the utter lack of people was only adding to Kaguya's current panic. At one point, his face twisted in pain and he slowed to a walk. Kaguya? Too bad we don't have these newfangled devices called cell phones. Shoulders heaving, he struggled again and again to keep his tired eyes open. Oh, the meds are taking effect. Oh, but it was a losing battle, and a split second later, we both pitched sideways. Well, thankfully, he caught himself at the last possible moment.
ごめん大丈夫
He straightened back up. But the pain still lingered on in his expression. He was gritting his teeth like he was bracing himself against something. I could see a tiny rivulet of blood trickling from one corner of his mouth. That's when I realized he was fighting to stay conscious. Had those aforementioned sedatives start to take effect? This is just bad planning on both parts. I'm just gonna say it now. Did we tell anyone where we were going? Do you think maybe Cinderella or Snow might show up in a moment and, like, save us? Or is Mr. Wizard gonna show up and just be like, ha 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 ha, there's no happy ending? He set me down at the base of a tree nearby. Kaguya. Now I could see that my blood had left a stain on his kimono. As for me, I could still just barely formulate cohesive thoughts, but the intense pain and blood loss was making me feel faint, same as him. I pulled the cloth away from my stomach and found the bleeding had slowed considerably.
ちょっと待ってて。
Oh. He smiled, probably to reassure me, and picked up a fallen branch lying on the ground. What's that for?
これならいけるかな。
Huh? What? What? Gripping the branch, he raised it into the air and plunged it into his thigh. Kaguya, why? I reached out to him, but lost my balance and toppled face first onto the ground. He hoisted me upright and then smiled and spoke softly.
ごめんな。自分もこうでもしないと。
I didn't mean to hit
意
space.
識が持たんくて。
Okay. I'm sorry, T. Just a minute ago I was telling you not to hurt yourself, and now I've made a hypocrite of myself. But I needed to do it, or else I'll pass out altogether. That's fair, but a little warning first might be great. The branch had impaled his thigh. Blood trickled from the wound. It was so gruesome I couldn't help but grimace.
でも許してほしい。これは死ぬために傷つけたものじゃない。君。
Oh, sorry. I keep hitting space too soon because of all the gaps in dialogue. As he spoke, he put his arms under me and staggered to his feet. He stumbled dozens of times, possibly from the pain, but nevertheless pushed himself forward.
僕はずっと月に憧れていた。地上は痛くないものや聞きたくないもので溢れていて、僕は生まれた時からそういった汚れた部分だけを見せる。僕の心は明かりのない闇だった。僕が何をした？僕に何が足りなかった？誰も僕を求めてくれない。必要としてくれない。誰も僕を愛してくれない。だからこそ僕は綺麗な月に惹かれ、月に帰りたいと願った。僕は汚れた人間じゃない。本当は月の都の人間で、地上の人間とは違うんだって。あの月には僕を必要とする人たちがいるんだって、そう思いたかった。
Oh, I'm sorry to see you go, Golden, but I'm happy that you came by to say hi. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time. We'll make sure these two idiots get to therapy. Don't worry.
でも本当はとっくに気づいていたんだ。僕も彼らと同じ奥深い地上の人間だ。あれもこれも欲しいくせにどれも手に入らなくて 嘘をついたり
Everyone's a winner, and your prize is
人を傷つけたりする
therapy!
普通の人間なんだ
Yay!
そして君も
Yep, I'm an earthling, just like you.
ああそうだ僕たちは同じ人間だ確かに月の都の人は華やかで美しくて
Where's the fun in that?
老いることはないでも何も思い悩むことがないというのは君との思い出も君を愛したこともすべて僕はそんな月なんかに帰りたくないもちろん君だって月に連れてなんて行かせないもし月の使者が君を迎えようとするなら僕は長い爪でその迎えの目をつかみ潰そう髪の毛を取って引き落とし恥をかかせてやる君は僕が絶対に助ける
Thank you. I rested my head on his shoulder and wrapped my arms around his neck. It hurt to see my beloved in pain. But it would hurt 1,000 times worse if he'd left me here alone. The good news is, he's not going to abandon me for the moon. Nor will I abandon him. Even after our sins are purged, we're going to spend the rest of our lives here on Earth.
もう少しだからもうちょっとで助かるから
I can't wait till this cuts to later with us in the hospital and Cinderella absolutely chewing us out for being a fucking moron. You know he's gonna. We encouraged each other as the walk continued. Hey, Kaguya, do you understand why I wanted you to get your memories back? I looked up at him.
ああ今ならわかるよ
He looked back at me.
君はずっと気づいて欲しかったんだろう
Yeah. My heart belongs to you alone.
僕もだ
This whole lunar eclipse looks like how I feel about your lips. I love that.
君が僕に心をくれるなら僕の心も君のものだ
At long last, the city lights came into view on the horizon.
光だ
After all that time walking through the darkness, any specks of light felt blinding. I can't read. The strength drained from my limbs and I relinquished my grip on Kaguya. As I went limp, he lost his balance and together we collapsed to the ground. Oh, okay, well, we almost made it, guys. Oh, my vision is fading. The next thing I knew, my vision had gone hazy. I thought I heard him calling my name, but I couldn't tell if it was real life or only a dream. Oh, I'm gonna have to look up that song, because that's very fitting. Somehow, I had the energy to use my brain, but not enough to move my body. Instantly, I was overcome with a deep primal fear. If I closed my eyes, chances were I'd never open them again.
Kaguya!
There he is! It's Cinderella! Through my hazy vision, I could make out Kaguya's tear-stained face and the full moon floating behind him. How beautiful. And then I wake up in a hospital and Cinderella's mad. But also happy that I didn't die, right? That's how it goes. Cinderella, our hero. We're gonna spend the rest of our lives working at the cafe to make it up to him. Right? That's the true ending. The next thing I knew, I was lying on a hospital bed. There was an IV drip in my arm, and Kaguya was asleep beside my pillow, clutching my hand. I tried to sit up, but didn't have the strength, so I turned my head as best I could. Nah, he take a nappy nap. His shoulders rose and fell rhythmically. Exhaustion was etched into the lines of his face. It didn't feel right to wake him up, so I let him sleep for a while longer. Eventually, his dark lashes fluttered. Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Wait, wrong fairy tale. I tried to say good morning, but my voice wouldn't come. Hi. Kaguya bolted to his feet.
よかった。今、お医者さん呼ぶからな。待ってて。
No, stay. He was about to let go of my hand. I lifted my arm to reach out for his sleeve.
動いたらあかんって。手術したところが開いたらどうすんねん。
Don't go! Sutures? I blinked back at him.
ああ、そうか。普通知らんよな。
He realized my confusion, sat back down in his chair, and squeezed my hand. Then he let out a long breath and told me everything that had happened in the interim.
君が倒れた後な。すぐに病院に連れて行って手術したんや。もちろん手術は成功。幸い臓器には傷ついとらんかったみたいで不幸中の幸いやなってお医者さんに言われたわ。でもな、それからなかなか目覚まさんくてみんなめっちゃ心配したんやで。
He's back to his cute little dialect, though. He laughed dryly, and I could see dark circles under his eyes.
あれから何日経ったと思う？
Oh, 5
そうや
days!
で。びっくりやろ。このまま目が覚めなかったらどうし
Okay,
よ
it
う。
was such a long pause, I thought he was done talking.
ごめんな。
What for?
その傷残ってしまうかもしれないって。
That was her own choice. That was Yurika's choice. And I'm sure she won't regret a scar.
君は女の子なのに僕のせいで。
It's fine if my feminine beauty is ruined, because I have gremlin beauty. I'm just saying. Like, if you think my feminine beauty is ruined, wait till you see my gremlin beauty. He looked to be on the verge of tears. I smiled, hoping to reassure him.
僕はわがままで自分勝手でずるくて嫉妬深い
Maybe she didn't have a
汚れた
scar.
人間
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, she might have a scar. I don't know. They kind of ran out of magic eraser, so like there might be some of a scar there. I'm sorry, they couldn't erase it.
そんな僕のために君はこうして命を懸けてくれた。僕の思いを得るために君は最大限の努力をしてくれた。ありがとう。だから今度は僕の番だ。僕は君の思いを得るために
Like you have to put effort in for that. You already have my affection, you silly goose.
それがたとえどんな無理難題だとしても僕は答えてみせる。
I'm sorry, he's like, no matter the impossible task, I'll do it for you. And the only thing I can think of is she beckons him to lean close. And she just goes, I want ice cream. I want snackies. Please.
僕は君を愛しているから。
I'm ruining the moment, and I apologize, but my brain is everywhere. Is that it? Are we gonna get to the epilogue? Live. Say that's how you can earn. Yeah. Just live. That's all you have to. All he has to do is exist, and Yutika's like, hot damn, let's go. After I awoke from my coma, Kaguya came to visit me every single day. Over time, my condition improved considerably, and now, in just a few short days, I would be discharged. Kaguya? I appreciate the hug and all, but I've been trapped on this hospital bed for a while now, and I'd really like to take a shower first. Embarrassed, I averted my gaze. Then I raised a hand and flattened my bangs. Fortunately, I knew I could count on Kaguya to take the hint. Don't worry, you don't stink half as bad as you think you do. He gently took my hand and peered into my eyes. I tried to keep my eyes averted, but at such close range it was basically impossible. Reluctantly, I met his gaze. Do I really? Oh, I get it. The nurse must have given me a sponge bath. Oh, sorry. What? Wait. Oh, he saying he did. No, so cute. Next thing I knew, he leaned in and stole a kiss.
My partner talking to me, I'm always afraid that I smell, and he's like, you smell fine. Yeah, I can see that though. Every now and then my brain gets really stuck in the loop of how relationships are partially fixated on the compatibility of how you like the scent of the other person. Which is really weird, but also I can't stop thinking about it. He smirked mischievously as my mind reeled from the outrageous revelation. Wait, what? What? Did he just imply that he washed my entire naked body? I stared at him in confusion. His smirk only deepened. Yeah. I've also learned that individuals who take birth control, actually the scent preference changes because it changes like your hormones and your composition and stuff. So like people who are on birth control will find someone attractive that they didn't used to find attractive, and then when they're off birth control, it's not uncommon to no longer find that person attractive. I thought that was really neat. Anyways. You're embarrassing me! My voice came out a bit louder than I meant it to. Yes, it is! Normally, this is the part where I'd bury my face under the blankets and squeal, "No, don't look at me!" But right now I was recovering from surgery. Naturally, the slightest movement resulted in... Ow, 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 ow. My unsexy grunts of pain promptly killed the mood. Granted, I wasn't particularly talented at being sexy in the first place, I suppose. Yeah. Clutching my aching side, I tried to smile reassuringly, but I could feel my face twitching. Evidently, I had hit my limit. Kaguya shook his head and smiled at me sympathetically. I'm an old man trying to give my partner a hug. It's so unsexy. So old man. It's totally fair. I leaned over to cuddle with Tara once while we were watching movies, and I think it was my knee that popped really loud, and we both just kind of like
Am I okay? Is my body falling apart? What's happening? His voice was soft and gentle. Yeah. I nodded meekly. That reminds me, how's the cafe do? At that precise moment, a pair of familiar faces walked in. Here it comes.
起きてた。
Hi. Hi, Snow. Hi, Cindy. Oh, that's cute, pup. I'm happy. I'm happy for you. Cinderella, Snow, you came to see me. The two brothers walked up to my bedside.
まあな。わざわざ休業して
Wait, the
見
whole
舞
day
いに
off?
来てやったんだ。
What about the
ありが
cafe?
たく思えよ。
I'm sorry.
嘘だよ。気にすんな。
Oh, okay.
なかなか見舞いに来られなくて悪かったな。
はい。これ、お見舞いの
Aw, flowers. Thank you. Oh. Hydrate. Everybody, it's hydrate time. Everybody have a drink of something. The cafe's closed for the day and it's all your fault. Deal with it. Oh my gosh, thank you.
おーきに白雪さん。
Uh-oh, and here comes his his jealous side. Before I could accept the bouquet, however, Kaguya stepped in between us. Kaguya, those are my flowers!
何
I want to eat
俺
them!
は彼女に渡そうとしたんだけど。
せやけど、彼女は僕のもんやし、代わりに僕が受け取っときますんで。
This devolves into a Yandere relationship. I'm ready.
アイドルかよ。
僕だけのな。あ、シンデレラさん、白雪さん、ついでにお願いしたんやけど、お医者さん、呼んできてくれへんかな。
He doesn't want to leave me alone in the room with the two of them. He's gonna make them fetch the doctor.
は？なんで俺が？
Because you're a threat.
あいたたたたた。あかん。足怪我したところが痛くて歩かれへんわ。
Ooh, ow, oh, my leg. Oh no, oh no, I can't go get the doctor on my own. Oh gosh. Oh, you should go get him yourself, Cinderella. Oh, ow. Clutching his thigh, Kaguya dropped to the floor. Nice try, but you were perfectly fine a minute ago.
せやのに毎日毎日家の仕事を押し付けられてこれじゃ治るもんもならないわな。
I love that he's such a drama queen. Let's go. Real Kaguya being the drama.
いやいや待て。俺らは別に強制したわけじゃねえだろ。お前が勝手に。
ほんまは彼女のとこにずっといたいのに。生活能力のないシンデレラさんと白雪さんの面倒を見なあかんなんて。
Oh my gosh.
俺は頼んでない。
特に不器用な白雪さんなんて気づくとゴミためになるからめっちゃ大変やったわ。
Kaguya voice. Am I the drama?
ちゅうわけでよろしく頼むわ兄さん方。
He smiled brightly. But I got the feeling he wasn't about to take no for an answer.
仕方ねえな。
Aww. I can't be the drama. Am I the drama? I might be the drama. And so they reluctantly left the room.
やっぱ人たちやな。でもちょっとうっかりさんやな。ナースコールあるのに気づかへんなんてな。
Kaguya, you little devil. I love it. Of course, the nurse call button. I forgot I had one of those.
おかげで邪魔者はいなくなったわけやけど。
What he really meant was a couple of stand-up blockheads. That's totally fair, yeah. You tricky little devil. Who are you and what have you done with my boyfriend? Have I witnessed the birth of Dark Kagubear? Dun dun dun!
これで しばらくの間は二人きりやな。
You've you really changed, haven't you? Cinderella's one thing, but how the heck do you have Snow White at your beck and call? At my comment, not my command, my comment, Kaguya smiled slightly.
変わってない。僕はわがままで自分勝手でずるくて嫉妬深い汚れた人間や。今までは仮面をかぶってそれを隠していたけど、みんなには全部お見通しだったわけやしな。
So, you've dropped your facade, or facade. Facade? Facade. I know it's facade, but my brain keeps wanting to say facade. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. I don't know how to read. I cannot read words. They elude me.
これからは時々外そうと思う。仮面をつけてると息が持たんくなるしな。そのことを思い出させたのは君やで。
Yeah, just use it for a customer service face. That's all you really need it for.
僕は嫉妬深くて独占欲が強くてずるい男だ。これからは遠慮なんてしない。
Oh, hell yeah. I mean...
覚悟はええか
Smooch. Before I could answer, he kissed me. His true nature beneath the mask took my breath away. But it didn't change the fact that I loved him. And I was prepared to overcome whatever challenges our relationship threw at us next. Good ending! Question mark? Ah, Mr. Wizard! I did it!
の人々は皆華やかで美しくて老いることはない。何も思い悩むこともない不死の国。でもそこには心がない。心がないということは人を愛する。それを知ったからこそかぐやは月に帰りたくないと嘆いたんだね。
Okay, Otto's taking too long.
愛は心。目に見えないものだ。目に見えないものを証明するのは難しい。不可能と言っても過言ではない。でもその難題を解いたからこそ彼は人間へと生まれ変わった。そして二人は結ばれましたとさ。
Happily ever after, the end! Once upon a time in the Looking Glass world, there lived a young orphan boy named Kaguya. Everyone around him used him for their own purposes. He was shuffled around from house to house to house. And at each house, Kaguya worked hard to earn the affection of the people who lived there. He obeyed orders and never made any demands. No matter how hurt or scared he was, he kept on smiling. He wore his smile like a mask to suppress his true self. But no matter where he went, he never truly belonged. Whenever he felt sad, he looked up at the moon and remembered that someone at the fifth house had told him. Moon dwellers are beautiful, opulent people who never grow old and never have any problems. They live in a utopia. Yearning to return to the moon, Kaguya began to hurt himself. But each time he tried, he ultimately failed and lost his memories of everything save for his name. One day, he had a fateful encounter with a princess at a cafe. She welcomed him in with a beautiful smile. Kaguya took a liking to her right away, so he asked her to be his girlfriend, and happily, she accepted. The two of them lived under the same roof and deepened their bond through a notebook they exchanged back and forth. I was doing so good at reading words. The princess was more perceptive than anyone Kaguya had ever met in his whole life. Oh, okay. Bye, Jelly Bear. Thank thank you for joining. I'm sorry you're late to class. I hope class goes okay. Be safe. She said and did everything he wanted her to, and bit by bit he fell even more deeply in love with her. But as time passed, the princess started to pick up on the real Kaguya beneath his smile. This frightened him to his core. After all, the real him was despicable, tainted. He was ashamed to reveal himself to her. As she prodded at his sore spots, Kaguya began to yearn for the moon more and more. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't catch on to that. I have problems catching on to some things. But hi, welcome to class. Welcome to the tea party. Sorry. I missed the joke opportunity. I missed the jokertunity. I apologize for my shortcomings. It's okay, Jelly Bear. We both goofed. We goofed the gaff. Then, on the night of the full moon... I'll take your... Thank you, pup. I appreciate that. Having regained all of his memories, Kaguya departed, leaving behind only a note. Moon dwellers are beautiful, opulent people who never grow old and never have any problems. They live in a utopia. With no regrets left in his heart, Kaguya plunged himself into the lake. But just then, the princess called out to him. She had realized his true intentions. Kaguya had used an impossible demand as an excuse to reject all forms of love. Now that she knew how he truly felt, the princess declared her desire to heal him. Then she hurt herself with the knife she carried in her hand. When he saw it, he realized. The pain felt by his beloved hurt thousands of times worse than any pain inflicted upon himself. So he took off his mask and revealed himself to her. The princess took one look at the real Kaguya and smiled. Healed by her love, Kaguya lived happily ever after. Yay! Kaguya's done! Moon Boyfriend has been saved! And it only took a knife and a lot of blood loss. Time for epilogue.
はーい。おめでとうございます。
ひひありがとう。
せっかくの退院祝いなのに、何か欲しいものとか他にどこか行きたいところとかないん？
Do not say the lake and do not say the moon. Okay. I already have everything I could possibly want. You're here with me, holding me in your arms. I couldn't ask for anything more.
ひいさんは欲がないな。
What about you, Kaguya?
ん？
Anything I can do for you?
そりゃあいっぱいあるで。ひいさんが入院してる間、寂しくて死にそうやったわ。
I like that he's back to this dialect of talking. Yeah, I made it out of the hospital. Now give me ice cream. Give me ice. I want it. Give me the yummies. You mean go to the moon?
うさぎさんみたいに。今、ようやく君と触れ合うことができて、確かにそれだけでも十分幸せやけど、
But
もっと触れたいな。なんて。
I want ice cream. Like a big hug?
ぎゅーっと抱きしめたい。
You. Since it's you, I'll allow it.
もしかして壊してしまうかもしれへんで。
I'll be fine. Trust me.
私はあなたが思っているより頑丈です。あなたが少しくらい乱暴に扱ったとしても壊れはしません。やろ？
Exactly. How do you know what I was gonna say?
そりゃ大好きな君のことやし。
Hey, Hey, Kaguya?
どないしたん？
Can I ask you a favor?
ええよ。
Will you give me your rabbit mask? Ooh, yes, I won't wear the rabbit mask.
これを別に何の価値もない。ただのお面やで。
Pretty please.
わかった。君にあげる。僕にはもう必要のないものやしな。
Thank you so much.
でもお面なんてもらってどうするつもりなん？これつけてもひいさんの素顔は。
Now I can have both your mask and your real face.
そういうことか。
No, it's because I'm a serial dater and I want a memento from every boy I kiss. I mean, yep. Whenever you're hurt or struggling, just tell me. You don't need to grin and bear it. No stiff upper lip required. I'll always accept your needs and feelings.
わかった。
Hmm.
なら君には特別に他の人には見せない僕の本当の素顔を見せます。その代わり君の笑顔も泣き顔もこれからは僕が独り占めにする。君が傷ついた時や辛い時は我慢しないでいい。そしてこれからも二人で思い出を積み重ねていこうな。